please help me welcome to the stage our last slammer of the evening, Jerry Gaines Jr. Clap for Jerry!
Well, good evening. Imagine 40 years with teenagers. It's a wonder I have a working brain cell left, but that's okay. Did you know that by starting when I did, my oldest students are now 61 years old? As a matter of fact, there's a professor, his name is Dr. Brandon. He's at Auburn University. He teaches international accounting, and he's been there 14 years. And I taught Dwayne when he was in the 9th and 10th and 11th grade. Don't applaud, I taught his mother too. In 1985, I had already been a veteran of 13 years in the classroom. What did you think I taught? Don't I look like a Spanish teacher? That's what I taught. It comes in handy nowadays. But if you saw me walking in the mall, I'm sure that's what you would say. Well, Henry, I'm sure that's a Spanish teacher. Yeah, sure. In 1985, I was also coaching. I coached cross country. Cross country is not like track. I had never been a distance runner. I was a sprinter. But I had some very good distance runners, and I coached some very good teams. And this particular year, 1985, I had two guys that come out for my team. And I guess they thought they'd come out and be a part of a legacy that my team had started to become. Little did I know, and I found out some years later, that they wanted to be next to a girl who was on my girls' team, a girl named Sherry, but that's another story. These guys come out, and after my first day of practice, one of them quits. He doesn't come back anymore. And the other guy decides to stay, and I have no idea why. Truth be known, this is without a doubt, this guy was the worst runner I had ever seen in my life. And I had, up to 13 years, I had never cut anybody, but I was going to cut this guy. I mean, in practice, he'd make 4 mailboxes before he'd be bent over yakking. You know, just 4 houses down the street. And this is all true. I am at Athlete's Foot, and I'm buying some new shoes for the year, you know. Because I have to look coachy. I have my coach's hat, my coach's shirt, and my coach's shoes. I'm in Athlete's Foot. Bad mistake, I brought my wife with me. I'll tell you why. We're in there looking at a particular pair of shoes, and all of a sudden she sees me duck down like this and start crawling behind the shelf. And she says, "What in the world is wrong with you?" The guy that was going to cut walks into the store with his dad. So I'm behind the shelves on the other side, and they don't see me. So my wife and I are sitting there, and we're listening to this father talk to his son, and he says, "Now, boy, I don't want you to quit this team. I want you to stick this out." And he's going, "Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." And he knows he's not going to be around very long, but he said, "Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. These are very expensive shoes," his dad said. "And I want you to stick something out for once in your life." "Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." And my wife gives me the Basset Hound eyes, you know. "You can't cut him now." I decided to leave him on the team. Long story short, this guy took it upon himself to start working with my number one runner. He ran on Saturdays, Sundays. The shoes that his father bought him must have been his ruby slippers or something. But it put something in this guy, and he started really, really doing well. And he finished the year my most improved runner and the 3rd best runner on that team. Sound like end of story? Not even close. Fast forward 25 years later, and I'm looking on Facebook. No, I didn't get on myself. My daughters figured, "Dad, you need this." So they set it all up. So I'm looking on Facebook, and I've got 20 years worth of kids, 40 years worth of kids running around. So plenty of time to be busy. Who should show up on Facebook but this guy's photo? And he's in uniform. And I Facebook him a message. "Hello, how you doing? Where you been? What's going on? What's this uniform stuff?" This guy was a Marine Corps officer. He had done 2 tours. in Iraq. He Facebooked me a message where he said, "Dear Coach, I wanted to thank you for sticking with me all those years ago." He said, "I can't tell you how far I've come. I can't tell you how much it means to me." But he said, probably at this point, the most poignant thing anybody ever said to me. He said, "I use the lessons that you taught me to keep my men alive here." And what do you say? What do you say after that? Well, I'm a teacher. You never get that out of your blood, I guess. So teachers, as you know, believe in show and tell. So what I did for you tonight is I brought this guy with me. His name is Tim. Tim, come up with me, please. Tim still works out, as you can see. He's not this skinny little guy. Tim was so bad. Real. Now that I've got you up here. Tim was so bad, I thought he was a plant from another coach on my team to destroy my team. This is just, I mean, he had legs. And you know how I told you he was trying to be cool and coming out for my team? You know how high school kids always want to drive the coolest car? Tim had a pickup truck. Not unusual? Nah, not at all. It was a white pickup truck. Unusual? No. But what was so unusual about it, it was painted like the Chick-fil-A cows. With the black splotches and everything. And as I live and breathe, and I have him right here to verify it, Tim drives that truck today.
Well, it's not the same truck. You know, every year I get it a couple.
But it's always painted the same. And that's our story.